when you look at NIL and the opportunities it presents, what do you think is most important that young student athletes are capitalizing on?
Yeah, I mean, so everyone gets caught up in NIL with the, the funds of it. I mean, it's important. Make your money while you can. But what's the first letter in NIL? Your name. And what is your name? Your legacy. So how are you going to leave a better last name than you were left? So that's kind of how I approach NIL. So I do a lot of stuff NIL with my foundation, the Dawkins Family Foundation. We just did an event, the YMCA, before this event here. And it's just important to me that, my family has a good legacy. So I do what I can in the community, whether it be State College, whether it be Allentown, whether it be Orlando, Florida, to try to do my part, to use my resources and the platform I was given with Penn State football and the Big Ten, to give back. Because I know the community picked me up when I was down.
Theo, I want to ask you, as an international student, they have recently made some adjustments here and there around that to make it easier for international kids to do NIL, but what has your experience in that space been?
So I haven't really been able to do much until recently. This July, I just got my American citizenship. So because of that, I've been able to do more.
Give it up for that guy, man. Come on.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal for me. So since I've gotten that, I've been able to get a little bit more involved. And now kind of in the season, I'm bringing things back a little bit, just kind of focus on the season. But I think it's really important just to be able to interact with brands and do things that kind of not only promote your brand, but kind of tell people a little bit more about you, because the brands that you interact with, that's essentially a part of your character and shows what you value and what you want to invest in. So I think, I've been very grateful that I've been able to interact with the few brands and things that I have been recently, and I'm looking forward to kind of growing in that space as well.
And before we go to Jerry and Caden, NIL, let's talk about your hoodies. Was this a planned effort? Like, what's going on? Was this NIL usage?
No, I wouldn't say it's planned. It's just a real popular hoodie. People like it.
Nah, yeah.
I had it on. I had this on. I went to class in this.
He did. I
had it on.
He
they showed up in this, so I guess they're trying to be like Big Bro, I guess.
No. I thought we had made this rule on a prior episode.
We made it very clear.
You don't come on this podcast, firstly, looking better than us.
No.
And two, with a chain more expensive than what we have. Show your chain. Pull that chain out right now.
This is unbelievable. This is what NIL does. This is what NIL does right here. Don't clap for these guys.
Is that Vaughn talking back there?
There's people on the team with
Vaughn. Is that you?
Vaughn has 2 Cuban links on.
No, but seriously, I think it's a good point because, not to get too serious here, but you look at NFL guys, historically, they retire 3 years later, 80% of them are broke, divorced, and depressed. To me, when I look at that, there's some type of education gap, there's some type of preparation that's not happening for guys where they're not ready to take their own brands, their own finances, take them on, grow them, and then keep it in the family, which is important, especially when you look at the grand scope of where a lot of these guys come from and their backgrounds and their histories. So I'll ask you guys as young players, do you feel like with NIL you've learned a lot about your own brands and your finances and things like that matter?
Yeah, I would say for sure. After I got this chain, my mom was actually real mad at me. Every time we get paid now, she takes not all my money, but she takes most of my money and puts it into a separate account that I can't even see. So it's just sitting in there. Yeah, I thank her for that now, but I do regret buying the chain because Coach Franklin makes it a big deal that we need to save our money because he doesn't think we know how hard it is to actually make $1. But NIL's taught us a lot about saving our money and spending it on the right stuff.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I like clothes. Everybody know I like clothes and shoes and all that, but I feel like I've got better at saving my money. I have multiple savings accounts. And for me, I have my own brand, so most of the money I do make, I kind of tie it back into that to make more money. So I just try to use NIL as my advantage.
And to your point, I feel like a lot of the time when you want something bad, once you finally get the funds to get it, you kind of don't want it as bad now. Yeah. That's kind of how I am now. I wanted stuff, I put stuff on Amazon wish list. I was one of them guys back in the day that would on Foot Locker add stuff to my cart and just leave it there. I was never gonna buy it. Didn't even have a credit card or any money.
I still do that. I would still do that to this day.
But for real, now that I have the opportunity to get stuff like that, I'm kind of realizing how foolish it is to spend the money that like we're receiving right now on something that's not going to benefit me in a couple of years.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like once you get it, you just realize, oh, like you said, the material.
It's all right. It's like, it is.